For 40 years, Abbotsford Hospice has provided compassionate end-of-life care and grief support to families during the most difficult times of life. We believe nobody should go through their end-of-life or their grief journey alone, which is why our services are open to everyone. I'm incredibly proud of the care that our team of staff and volunteers provides, yet none of this would be possible without the support of you, our amazing community. Your generosity translates directly into the care that we can give. We've seen incredible growth over the past few years with the expansion of our grief support services. In this past year alone, we've impacted over 31,000 people in our community, from the youngest children to the oldest seniors. Yet today, our healthcare system is in crisis. Our regional hospitals are consistently over capacity, and the pressure of our aging population means our current hospice infrastructure simply cannot keep up. We can't look away from this need in our community, and today we're taking action. We're expanding our care at Holmberg House, constructing 6 brand new hospice suites for patients and families. These 6 new beds will serve about 120 families every single year right here in Abbotsford. It means getting patients out of overcrowded hospital rooms and into a dignified space that feels just like home. To truly understand the urgency of this expansion, I'm inviting you to listen to the stories of our families.
My father was diagnosed with colon and liver cancer in early September of 2018. My mom and dad's anniversary was on September 22nd. We had a family dinner. We had all gone home, and a couple of hours later, my mom had called us. In a panic, my father had fallen. He had collapsed. By the time the ambulance got to the house, all of us kids were also there. We had to make the decision at the hospital to place him into palliative care. My dad was quite the character. My father worked for federal corrections, so he had that big, burly, commanding voice, but deep down he was a kind, gentle soul who really cared about people. My mom and dad were married for 56 years when he passed away. He was placed on the palliative care ward, and when we got the call that he was going to be placed in Holmberg House, we were relieved because we knew the reputation of Holmberg House. We knew the reputation of the Abbotsford Hospice Society.
Many folks question why you would volunteer at hospice, and it's not for everyone. I'm generally working front office. That just involves meeting people, coming and going, walking beside the people. I came to volunteer at hospice because this is where my late husband, Jerry, spent the remainder of his time. I'm here to honor his wishes and give back.
Before I actually had the personal experience with Abbotsford Hospice, I didn't really know specifically the impact that Abbotsford Hospice makes. My mother's at Abbotsford Hospice currently. When it comes to dealing with grief and end-of-life care for family members, I think that's a unique place in our community. Once you're there and once you're actually in that scenario where you can see the impact firsthand, you start to realize the work and how important it is.
My first impression of Holmberg House was a gracious one. We walked into the main door and there was a volunteer there, and they said hello and how are you today? Is there anything we can do for you? A nurse met us upstairs right away and showed us to where my dad was. The volunteer came by just shortly after that to introduce themselves to see if there was anything we needed. We asked about visiting hours and they said there was no visiting hours. We could be there however long we wanted for as long as we wanted. My dad asked if he could see his dog. Could we take him downstairs to see the dog? And they're like, oh, they can bring Archie up. That for my dad was wonderful because he had been 10 days without his dog and Archie was his buddy.
For my mom, it took a little while for her to get used to her surroundings and the people, and she just kept asking me, there's so many people that come in and check on me. Is this normal? And I'm saying, for hospice, it is. To this day, she would say the volunteers here are wonderful. They're such nice people. Everyone's so nice. People brought me flowers. Even the little smallest details she's pointing out and saying how wonderful it is.
I always look forward to my day at hospice. I love the staff and the people here. Yes, there are many sad days, but just to be able to walk with those folks is beyond gratifying. If we can walk beside folks at this difficult time, I feel that's the very most important thing we can do.
In August of 2020, we were in the process of opening Hugs in a Mug Coffee Bistro. My mom, she was Scottish, she drank her tea, and we always knew in the morning you couldn't talk to Mom until she'd had her hug in her mug. That's how we got the name Hugs in a Mug. My mom was here for our opening day, which was August the 7th. On the Monday, the 10th, we got a call from my sister saying that my mom appeared to have had a stroke and that we needed to go to the hospital. When we arrived, we were advised that my mom had had a devastating stroke, and it was just a matter of time until her body stopped. My mom passed on August 14th, and in that time, although the hospital tried very hard to accommodate her, she spent her final days in what was a storage room that they had made a makeshift room for us. I know the nurses and the hospital staff did everything they could for my mom and to make all of us as comfortable as we could. And we were grateful for that we were able to have the time with her. But compared to what my dad had, it was very hard on all of us.
Working in the front office, all too often, I'm taking calls from folks that have loved ones that they're trying to care for at home, that are dying at home. Maybe they're in a care facility or at the hospital. They're burnt out, they're exhausted, they're desperate to get their family in here, but all too often we don't have a bed available. I got a call from a gal whose loved one was basically dying in the hallway at the hospital. And we have a full house.
When my mom was out of town in Port Moody at the hospital, it was very difficult for me and my family to be able to be there all the time. And every time I would go there, it wasn't as her son. It was, okay, what can we do? What do we need to do now? How do we help her? Having my mom at Abbotsford Hospice has made a tremendous difference. I get not to be the caretaker anymore. That burden goes away because I know she's in such great hands. And then I can focus on the relationship that I have with her and that she has with me. And those are kind of the long-lasting memories that we want to hang on to.
I would love for everybody to have had the experience we had with my dad. We were able to be there with him. He had his comforts around him. He had his quilt. He had pictures. He had his personal belongings with him. Whereas my mom, it was just a cold, sterile room that she was in. We need to do better for our families.
I just feel so strongly about being able to expand hospice because of our personal experience. We really need to step up and get more beds. I can't imagine going through the loss of my husband without having hospice.
When I walk through the doors, it actually feels like I'm coming to a family home. We're at the end of life stage with my mom, but here she has all her dignity. She has all the care. She has all the love. I think everyone deserves that. Every family needs that. We all know that the need is going to really grow drastically over the coming years. We need to take this model and just grow it as much as possible. 60% is wonderful. I think that's a fantastic start.
The day my dad passed, one of the volunteers came and knocked on the door and said, I have a pot of tea ready for you when you're ready for it. And that was just like, okay. My father passed away December 6th of 2018, and we saw the phenomenal work that was done by the society. Myself and family members used the grief support services that were available to us, and then I became a board member. As somebody who has had the opportunity to have those services when needed, I can't thank the community enough for the work that they did to get the hospice built in the first place. And now we need to expand upon it.
It is beyond gratifying to see the amazing folks and businesses stepping up to help us. It's overwhelming and so exciting.
It's a time when hope seems to be fleeting. It's a time when Abbotsford Hospice Society really steps in. We definitely want to support Abbotsford Hospice Society as they continue to do this great work and expand and grow so that we can help more families in our community and really bring hope back into the picture.
It's not an easy journey to say goodbye to somebody that you love deeply. And to be able to have a hospice room where you have time to be alone with your loved one, it makes such a world of difference.